Meet Pip. Pip is a very good boy, and he pays close attention to everything you do. If you stand by the front door and say, "Do you want to go for a..." Pip's tail is wagging before you even finish the sentence. He already knows the next word is walk. Pip doesn't know what a noun or a verb is. He certainly didn't study a dictionary. He simply noticed that over the last 100 times you made those specific sounds, you eventually picked up his leash. Predicting what comes next based on past experience isn't magic. It is how animals learn to navigate the world. And it turns out, it's exactly how machines learn to speak our language too. The artificial intelligence systems you hear about today, large language models or LLMs, are a lot like an eager puppy. These programs don't feel emotions or have lived experiences. They do not actually comprehend what they are saying to you. Instead, they are the world champions of playing Guess the Next Word. After reading billions of sentences from books and websites, they learn to predict that a cup of is highly likely to be followed by coffee, occasionally tea, and almost never cement. But human language is messy. It's full of slang, metaphors, and words that completely change meaning depending on the situation. Think about the word bark. It could mean the loud noise a dog makes, or it could mean the rough outside of a tree. To determine which one I mean, the computer has to look at the word sitting right next to it. To navigate all that confusion, a computer has to translate our complicated vocabulary into something it can easily handle: math. To digest massive amounts of data, the computer first has to break every sentence into tiny, manageable units. This process of chopping up language is known as tokenization. When a computer looks at a massive, complex word, it struggles to process it all at once. Imagine tossing a tiny puppy a treat that is as big as a couch. He wants to eat it, but he just can't fit his mouth around it, so you break it up. The computer does the exact same thing to language. It chops difficult words into smaller, familiar pieces. A giant word like unbelievable snaps into smaller fragments: un, believe, and able. These fragments are called tokens. Modern language models don't actually read human words. They think entirely in these bite-sized pieces. It allows them to digest trillions of sentences with incredible speed. Now that the computer has its tiny pieces, it needs a system to organize them based on how they're used. It maps these relationships out using a network of embeddings. If Pip is organizing toys, he might push a tennis ball and frisbee into the same pile, since he chases both in the park. The computer organizes its tokens by assigning a long list of numbers to every single piece. This creates a massive, invisible map, where ideas used in similar ways are grouped tightly together. This chart shows a simplified version of that map. Notice how the mathematical jump from the concept of a man to a woman takes the exact same angle and distance as the jump from king to queen. And if we look at the next section of the chart, you can see this geometry even captures grammar rules. The line connecting king to the plural kings is identical to the line connecting queen to queens. The computer doesn't actually know what a king is, but because of this highly precise map, it knows exactly who a king's mathematical neighbors are. So what happens when you sit down at your keyboard and ask the AI to write a story starting with the words once upon a? The system checks its enormous map, calculates the odds based on everything it has ever read, and determines that the single most likely piece to follow is time. Then it looks at the phrase once upon a time and runs the math again to find the next piece. It repeats this process over and over, incredibly fast, building out the response one fragment at a time. It looks like the computer is typing out an original, creative thought, but you are really watching millions of calculated mathematical predictions falling into place in rapid succession. There is no consciousness inside the machine. It doesn't actually comprehend the essay it just wrote for you. So the next time a computer answers a complicated question or writes a poem, just picture Pip waiting by the front door. The machine is simply looking at the words you've already typed, sorting through its bite-sized pieces, and calculating what's most likely to come next. This entire performance rests on a foundation of massive, incredibly complex pattern recognition. Every word is a step on a map that we are only just beginning to explore.